Jarrod Bowen signed his deal for West Ham United till 2030. He's one of the highest paid players at the club. I believe prior to that, he was paid around 80k a week. We're now set for a new round of contract talks. Bowen was one of the key players that we wanted to get through. We've been trying to negotiate a contract with him for a while. Thomas Souček as well as another player that we tried to negotiate, and obviously he has signed a new contract as well. But the two players that currently we're trying to get on new contracts is Kurt Zouma, who I believe Mark has covered in a video, which you can go watch on the YouTube channel right now. It'll cover everything in that video about the new contract. But I'm going to be talking about the star man, the Brazilian Magnifico, Lucas Paqueta. Now, we know we were very close to losing him in the summer. £85 million release clause, of course, hanging over his head. That will be active next summer. His current deal runs out in 2027. We have a clause in his contract if we want to do that by a further year. That is up to us to be able to do that. But of course, everything in that is null and void if the £85 million release clause is activated, and Newcastle, who just want every single one of our players apparently, and Manchester City are the front runners at the moment to try and get a signature. But we have got a new round of talks coming in for Lucas Paqueta. We do want to get him on a long-term contract, get that £85 million release clause done in the contract, and hopefully get him on a better contract. Of course, if he's at 2027, 23 at the moment, so it's 4 years. So what I would imagine would happen is we would offer him an extension of 1 year. I can't imagine we would try and get him on a 7-year like Bowen. I just think that's way too ambitious from West Ham. I can't imagine us being able to pull that off. But then again, I didn't think we'd be able to pull that off with Jarrod Bowen. So what I would imagine would happen is we would say to Lucas, look, we're going to extend your contract by 1 year, which is what we would do anyway, because it's in your clause in your contract. In the new contract, there will be no release clause, or if there is, it will be a higher release clause. And we're going to give you the money to become one of the top earners in the squad. Now, currently, Lucas Paqueta is the top earner in the squad. He earns 150k a week, according to a website. I'll just get the website up now. Various sources have confirmed that that is his wage at the moment, but the website I'm going to be referring to at the moment is Capology. So at the moment, we've got Lucas Paqueta on 150, Ings, Zouma on 125, Areola at 120, and then Ward-Prowse 115, and it just sort of goes a bit down there from there. Obviously, Jarrod Bowen's figure has not been released by the club yet, but X has said that he's the top earner at the club, so he's earned a minimum of over 150k. What I would imagine is probably around the 175, 180, 200k sort of mark. And speaking of 200k, that is supposedly what we're going to be offering Lucas Paqueta. A lot of sources, Team Talk is one that I'm going to cite, have said that we're going to be offering Lucas Paqueta £200,000 a week to play for West Ham United. Now, the situation is at the moment, from what I can understand, Lucas Paqueta, rightfully so, wants to play for some of the best European teams in the country. Obviously, the idea of playing for Manchester City was something that interested him greatly. It was something that he was very interested in. And of course, I mean, you can't blame him for playing under one of the, well, arguably the best manager in the world at the moment in Antonio Conte, Pep Guardiola. Sorry, I'm incredibly tired at the moment. Under Pep Guardiola, he's playing with the likes of Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne. You know, you've got players like Gavardiol, Bernardo Silva around him. Whether he leaves, of course, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish. I mean, come on, there's so many players that play for City that are just incredible. And of course, on the Newcastle side of things as well, they've got a Champions League spot at the moment. Could they repeat that next year? Possibly. Again, I don't think that Lucas Paqueta will leave in January. I think it'd be stupid for us to sell him, and I think it would be stupid for him to leave in January. I just don't think we'd sanction it. And I think, why would a club come in and say, you know, oh, we're gonna offer £100 million, right? We would say, well, no, we're not going to accept that because we don't want to sell him. But then the club, why would a club offer less than his £85 million release clause, which is probably what they think he's worth, when they'll just say, do you know what, we just wait out to the summer. If you're going to make us pay 80, 90 million, we'll just wait till the summer, wait a couple of months, and we'll get him for 85 guaranteed. So it's a situation that needs resolving very, very soon, because if that £85 million release clause is still active by next summer, it is my belief that he's going to leave. And I don't see another way around it. I think we have to offer him something. And unfortunately, the only thing we can really do at the moment is throw a bunch of money at him, because we can't offer him anything higher than Europa League. You know, for us to get Europa League this season, I think would be an incredible achievement. You've got Tottenham Hotspur back on it, unfortunately. Arsenal, City, Brighton, Aston Villa, Liverpool. And those are 6 teams right there that you could comfortably say probably will finish above West Ham, potentially. You then got the likes of maybe when Tony comes in, Brentford making a late shout. United might, if they get stuff together. Chelsea as well. I mean, they're not too far off. Of course, there's no telling what we could achieve. And Newcastle as well. There's no telling what we could achieve this season. There's no reason why we couldn't push on and be one of those clubs that, gets top 4. I mean, listen, as a West Ham fan, I'm always going to be a little bit pessimistic and see other teams doing well and assume that we might not be able to keep it. But, if you're a Brighton fan right now, you'll be saying, well, I don't know how we're going to get top 6 because you've got West Ham at our heels, Newcastle. If you're a Newcastle fan, you say, well, I don't know how we're going to get top 6. You've got Brighton, you've got Aston Villa, you've got West Ham. So, it goes around. There's no reason why we couldn't get Europa League football. But I would think that's probably the max we can offer him. Europa League football for next season. Whether his contract has a clause in it to say the £85 million release clause is active unless you get this, get that. Who knows? I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think Paqueta's ambition is probably going to be Champions League. We can't offer him that. There's no way we get Champions League this season. It's just not going to happen. I can't see it happening. Arsenal, City and Liverpool for me are nailed on in the top 3. Spurs potentially in that conversation as well for the top 4. And then again, like I said, you've got teams like Brighton, Newcastle, Aston Villa. It's going to be so competitive and so tough this season to pull off top 4, even to pull off top 6. So in my eyes, we can't offer him the football he wants. So we have to offer him the money he wants. And again, the figure that's going around at the moment is £200,000 a week, which would make him the highest earner at West Ham. Obviously, I have no idea what City would offer him. But if City came in and said, under the grapevine, do you know what, mate? We'll offer you $250 a week. $250 a week. Hold out till next January. Don't sign that contract. Next summer, sorry. Don't sign that contract. And we'll come in for you and we're going to sign you. I don't know if that's really how clubs operate. I mean, if I heard that my target was being offered £200,000 a week and I know I can beat it, there is absolutely no way I won't be sending him a cheeky DM, a cheeky email and telling God, who knows, like messenger in a bottle, telling him, do you know what, mate, we'll pay you more than that and just wait on. So it is good for West Ham to be trying to get this done now. It's definitely the right time to get this done. Again, the issue for me is, are we going to be able to do it? I think that Paqueta wants the top brand of football, the elite level of football, and I don't know if we're going to be able to offer it to him. But, of course, we can only do so much. At least we're trying to get things over the line. Again, no idea. X hasn't reported anything as of yet. It's all just a little bit of, just stir around the media to see what's going to happen. But the figure being quoted at the moment is £200,000 a week, which is 50k more than he's already on. I imagine, obviously, like I said, I don't know the Bowen figure, but I imagine that would probably make him, 100% the second top earner at the club, but potentially the top earner at the club as well. And, if we say to him, look, we're going to build a team around you, Jarrod Bowen staying on, Zouma staying on, following their footsteps, we can build a really special team. And who knows, in 2 or 3 years, we could challenge for that Champions League or the Europa League title and stuff. You never know. So the situation with Paqueta is basically kind of how it already is. But we are making moves to try and get that release clause out of his contract, which, of course, is the main talking point at the moment. Trying to offer him some money to try and make him stay. Of course, at this time, we have no idea what's going to be happening if he's going to sign that contract. But, of course, as always, as soon as we hear the news, we will bring it directly to you.